Hello, friends. A drone from the Perun unit discovers in a warehouse a target that every operator dreams of. We're talking about a fully loaded ZBM-21 Grad rocket launcher. The vehicle's takeoff was visible from Kid, but the defenders still sent another drone to confirm that piece of enemy equipment had left this astral plane. Fly high, Ivan. With the 50 points from the Brave One system that the unit earned with this attack, the operators will be able to buy a Baba Yaga bomber and 3 additional attack drones. This reward system is impressive, as it makes the priorities of the side clear and allows the frontline troops to make independent decisions aligned with the strategic objectives of the High Command. I imagine you still want to see more? Here we see how the defenders identify the position of one of the few operational 152mm EMSTS self-propelled howitzers left to the Horde, after which they send in an attack drone that triggers a chain reaction, sending the invader to new heights. I thought it was an old video, but no, it was published just a couple of days ago. Gentlemen, orbital takeoffs are back. I bet you didn't know, but on June 10, 2022, the first successful combat use of an FPV attack drone took place by the operators. Tourist, Schweiger, and Bagdada, all belonging to the Signum Battalion, who carried out that historic mission, which made it possible to prove the value of unmanned systems and change the war forever. All the defenders remember with amazement the images that became part of history, where the operator receives the instruction, "Fourth house, blue doors." That flight marked a turning point, as Ukraine took the lead in the use of these systems, to the point that now, one of its armed forces has specialized exclusively in unmanned systems, generating thousands of vehicles and hundreds of thousands of deputinized invaders, thus saving thousands of Ukrainian lives. Many thanks to those who dared and had the ability to be the first, and to those who continue the fight day after day. Returning to the campaign to block the logistical routes of the Horde, on June 10, the Defense Forces of Ukraine carried out a complex joint operation involving the 1st Azov Army Corps, the main directorate of the Security Service of Ukraine, the Alpha Special Operations Center, and the Unmanned Systems Forces, who launched their drones against the commercial port of Mariupol. The attack successfully neutralized critical elements for the operation of the port infrastructure, leaving the facilities closed for the Horde's logistical operations. Among the destroyed targets were electrical substations, which left the entire port in darkness, radar equipment and the port's control tower, paralyzing surveillance of the maritime area and navigation in the adjacent sea, infrastructure and repair facilities essential for ship maintenance, as well as storage tanks for fuel and lubricants, which eliminated the port's ability to resupply ships. In addition to the dry cargo ship Lady Augusta, which was part of Putin's shadow fleet, and for that reason was under international sanctions. This operation was done in 2 stages. In the first stage, a group of reconnaissance drones mapped out the positions of possible targets in broad daylight, providing information for the attack wave. This way, it was able to focus precisely on the identified targets, causing massive explosions and secondary fires at each of them. Mariupol was captured by the invaders after a brutal siege in 2022 that devastated the city and its civilian population, and since then, it has served as a vital logistical hub for the Horde's operations in the Sea of Azov region. The port has facilitated military logistical traffic and the export of looted Ukrainian resources. By rendering it inoperative, Ukrainian forces have significantly disrupted these supply lines, making it more difficult for Russia to maintain its operations in Crimea and the occupied territories in Donetsk and Zaporizhia. The 1st Azov Army Corps has committed to maintaining and increasing dynamic sanctions against the invaders along the entire coast of the Sea of Azov, and the capability to achieve this exists, as can be testified by the remains of the Zircon ship, which suffered massive damage after being attacked by Ukrainian mosquitoes off the coast of Taganrog. The strategic sanctions front against the defense industry of the Horde. Ukrainian forces carried out a series of high-precision attacks with long-range FP-5 Flamingo cruise missiles on Russian territory, targeting the Vaynir Progress military plant in Chevoskary, Republic of Chubasia. This facility, located more than 900 kilometers from the front, manufactures critical components such as satellite receivers for the GLONASS, GPS, and Galileo systems. It also manufactures navigation antennas and Comet-type antennas resistant to electronic interference. These are used in the guidance modules of Shahed drones, KH-102 cruise missiles, and Iskander and Caliber ballistic missiles, as well as in specialized electronic warfare equipment. According to Ukrainian sources, 5 Flamingo missiles were launched, of which 2 were shot down as they approached Chubasia, and another near the target, so it is believed that 2 managed to hit the plant. Simultaneously, Ukrainian forces also attacked the Kuvyshev oil refinery in Russia's Samara region, more than 900 kilometers from the front, causing fires and damage to the refinery's infrastructure. Finally, the Security Service of Ukraine carried out additional attacks against 2 oil pumping stations in the Vladimir region, about 700 kilometers from the front. NASA's firm satellite monitoring system also detected thermal signals at the facilities, indicating the presence of active fires. The disabling of these facilities is strategically important, as the disruption in the operation of the pumping stations stops the flow of fuel to refineries and fuel export ports, thus limiting the revenue received by the Russian state that sustains the Kremlin's war economy. On the logistics front, the Ministry of Defense has approved the MAG or WL SOVA type MRAP infantry armored vehicle for operational use in all units of the Ukrainian Defense Forces. Locally manufactured by the company MAG Hub in strategic partnership with Paramount, the SOVA incorporates the hard lessons learned during the 2 years of war against the invaders. Developed in close collaboration with commanders of elite units, such as the Black Sea Legion, the vehicle embodies a design philosophy focused on the well-being of the soldier. Each feature prioritizes crew, survival, mobility, and resistance against drones in an environment where anti-tank mines and swarms of kamikaze drones have become the deadliest threats on the battlefield. The SOVA has been rated as the safest and most advanced MRAP in Ukraine to date, achieving the highest protection rating against mine blasts of up to 10 kilograms of explosives, which is an essential feature for safely navigating the extensive minefields at the front. The side armor reaches 16 millimeters, being the thickest in its class, providing excellent ballistic protection without compromising agility. It can be equipped with a weapon station operated from inside the vehicle, or a manual turret armed with a heavy machine gun or a grenade launcher. Weighing 15 tons, the vehicle is powered by an 8.9-liter turbo diesel engine that delivers 450 horsepower. It is coupled to an independent high-drop pneumatic suspension and a ground clearance of 45 centimeters for exceptional off-road performance. It has capacity for a crew of 2 and can transport 8 equipped soldiers with a motorized rear ramp for quick deployment. A notable defensive feature is its modular turret, capable of integrating up to 10 electronic warfare modules to create an invisible protective umbrella that neutralizes enemy drones before impact. Speaking of vehicles, the 40th Marine Infantry Brigade of the Defenders is also joining the viral trend by showing off their new rides. In this case, how did they go from a civilian pickup truck to a protected Max Pro infantry transport? It's also equipped with sturdy cages to keep the drones of the Horde at bay. That's a big leap for these amphibious soldiers. If you want to see additional content about the war in Ukraine, I invite you to visit our 2 new channels where we present information about the war in a different format. Don't forget to check them out. Remember to visit our Patreon, where for just $1, you'll have access to a large number of uncensored videos and documentaries. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel.